What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Season 9, Episode 8. Let's talk about Jasmine and Matt. So, Jasmine and Matt are working out at the gym and they are talking mad crap about Gino. They're accusing Gino of being this master manipulator of women, that he's a liar, that he's this player, and he just knows how to lure women into his trap and how to lie to them and manipulate them, and they're making him seem like he's just the pimp of the century. And to me, Gino, the only thing that he's manipulating is those damn hats to cover up his bald head. That's the only thing that Gino is capable of manipulating. He is not a master player, he is a master napper. Gino just wants to take a damn nap. So on the one hand, they talk about how, he's this horrible guy because he's using women and manipulating women and lying to Jasmine and lying to Natalie. And on the other hand, they talk about how he's like 5 minutes away from being in Depends and living in an old folks' home, living off of applesauce. So, like, which one is it? Is he this Master Manipulator of women, or is he an old man who is becoming senile and is going to need round the clock care? Which one is it? Because he can't be both, y'all. He cannot be both. So, as much crap as Matt is talking about Gino, your girlfriend, Jasmine, was begging him, practically down on her hands and knees, begging him for sex. As much as you want to talk about Gino's old, he's washed up, he's got one foot in the grave, your girlfriend, Jasmine, was begging him for sex. What say you that, Matt? What do you have to say to that, Matt? What is your response to that? She was begging him, begging him. And he was turning her down every chance he got. Jasmine says that she just wants to move on from Gino. She says that she's really scared to take this next chapter in her life. And she just might need to go back to Panama to regroup. And of course, this is her manipulative tactics into getting Matt to say, oh, no, 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 Jasmine, don't leave for Panama. Stay here. I'll take care of you. The only master manipulator here is Jasmine because she was trying to juggle a husband and a boyfriend. She was trying to convince her husband, who wanted a monogamous marriage, she wanted to convince her husband to allow her to have a boyfriend on the side, but not ever think about him having a girlfriend on the side for himself. She wanted him to be completely devoted to her and to have all of his money devoted to her, but she still wanted to play and run the streets and be with Matt and do whatever the hell she wanted to do with Matt because that was going to help her marriage. If she had a boyfriend on the side, this was going to help her be a better wife to Gino. And y'all are going to call Gino the manipulator when she had to find a way to finesse a plan to have a husband and a boyfriend. But Gino's the manipulator, he's the player. She's got two men, one man that she's desperately wanting to sleep with, let her tell it. Another man that she's actually sleeping with, and she ends up getting pregnant by. But we're supposed to believe that Gino is the one that is okay. So she talks about maybe she needs to go back to Panama. And Matt tells her that he doesn't want to be in the friend zone anymore and that he's had all these feelings for her and that he loves her and that he wants her to give him a chance. Jasmine tells us that she had told Matt so many times, don't fall in love with me. Don't fall. I know I'm irresistible. I'm the most beautiful woman that you've ever seen, but please don't fall in love with me. And he did anyways. She says that he is everything that she's looking for in a man. He's a protector, he's a provider, he's this, he's that, and so on. But right now she's just not ready to jump into a relationship because she's invested so much in Gino that she's just not ready to hop into a whole nother relationship. But you're living with Matt. Yes, supposedly Gino threw you out because you were already spending time with Matt so damn much. Gino's probably like, you might as well just go live there. You're there, you're with him so much, just go live with him. Yes, Gino threw you out, but you were already spending a lot of time with him. So, like, how much more serious can it get? Oh, yeah, y'all had a baby afterwards. So she tells him to be patient, and he's like, yes, I'll just, abide my time and I'll wait for whenever she's ready. Like, who really cares? Moving on from there, Gina. So Gina goes to see Natalie, and Natalie's over it. She's done. She's packing her bag. She's ready to get the hell on out. And so Natalie's whole thing is, she had wanted Gino to completely end things with Jasmine once and for all, so that when she came into the picture, it was clear where everybody stood, that Natalie and Gino were on the verge of starting something new. Jasmine has moved on from Gino. Gino has moved on from from Jasmine, and so everybody's in their separate corners doing their own thing. But when she showed up at the cousin's birthday party, the family's telling her that Gino and Jasmine, they met up for drinks and they were talking about possibly reconciling. And so she was blindsided about all of this information, and she was made to look like Boo Boo the Fool. On top of that, the she devil came out and attacked her, or tried to attack her. So in Natalie's mind, it's like, if y'all are really over, why is she even attacking me? If she's done with you and she's over you, why does she want to fight me? So Natalie's like, there's just too much confusion here. I'm not about these games. Y'all are not going to use me as a pawn in y'all's toxic relationship. Gino begs her to stay. She's not trying to hear it. So she's on the first plane out of Dodge. And that's that. Good for you, Natalie. You're the only one with any sense. Now, Gino himself, needs to take accountability, because if he really wanted to start something with Natalie, at that party, when everybody was talking about how Gino and Jasmine are not really over, Gino should have stood up and he should have vocalized. He should have used his words and say, y'all are crazy. Me and Natalie never talked about reconciling. I don't want to reconcile with this woman. I want to end it with her, and I want to start something with Natalie. I've got nothing to do with Jasmine from here on out. Me and Jasmine are over. We are through. So stop telling my friend or my girlfriend or whatever. Stop telling her that me and Jasmine met up and we talked about reconciling. Regardless of what Jasmine was going to say, regardless of what Messy Michelle was going to say, he should have stood his ground and said, that is not true. I don't want to be with Jasmine. But he didn't. Better yet, he should have told Natalie before the party that he met up with Jasmine and this is what they talked about. So she would have been better prepared. So he ruined it as well. He can't put all the blame on Jasmine and Michelle and Matt. He can't do that. He needs to take some responsibility too. But whatever the situation is, Jasmine's moved on with Matt. Natalie's moving on with her life, and hopefully, Gina will figure it out. Moving on to Kara and Guillermo. Y'all, what is really going on between Kara and Guillermo? Because for them to be separated like this, I feel like something else has got to be happening in their marriage, other than him catching her giggling on the phone and telling him it's none of your business when he asked her who was she texting, or who was she talking to. There's got to be more to it than that. There's got to be more to it than him not really happy with her becoming a singer or taking on this new singing career. There's got to be more to this story than what we're seeing on this show. So Kara is on her way to Milan because she's going to be recording an album out there in Italy. Her mom is driving her to the airport, and she tells her mom that her and Guillermo have not talked. He didn't come to um, her performance, and they haven't talked since before then. So Kara doesn't understand why Guillermo is so distant to her, so distant with her. And I'm like, yes, you do, Kara. You understand damn well why Guillermo is distant. We don't understand why he's still holding this grudge against you, because it seems like it had to have been something more than catching you texting on the phone, unless you really were talking to another dude. So you know why your husband is being distant with you. Stop playing dumb. You know what's going on, but for whatever reason, they don't really want to talk about it on the show. So her mom tells her just to get ready for a possible divorce. Now, for her mom to even bring that up, I'm like, y'all, what is really happening between Kara and Guillermo? Because her mom, who claims that she loves Guillermo and whatnot, and she was giving him advice on how to become a pilot, like you should join the Air Force. It seems like she does care for Guillermo, so she's not like trying to tell her daughter to leave Guillermo because she hates Guillermo. So why would her mom even bring up the possibility of divorce, and we don't even know what's divorce worthy in their marriage? I mean, this man has completely moved out. He's completely moved out. They're not speaking. Like, it has to be more than her singing bachata and her giggling on her phone. It's got to be something more than that. So the mother suggests, to get ready for a divorce, and And so I don't know what's going on there. So Guillermo, we see Guillermo, he's in his little house and he's eating alone, and this is like such a sad scene. He's having his little grilled cheese sandwich all by himself, and he's FaceTiming his mom, and he finally tells his mom all that's been going on between him and Kara, because before he was keeping everything inside and not really confiding in his mom because he didn't want to burden his mom with his marital issues. So the mom gives him words of encouragement, and Guillermo starts to cry. And I'm thinking, y'all, what is really going on? This man is crying on the phone about his marriage. Did she really cheat? Did he really cheat? So he's crying on the phone with his mom, which makes his mom cry. And since moving out, he talks about how hard it's been to be without his family, waking up alone, not seeing his son every day. And, it's been really difficult for him. And so he asks his mom, what can I do to get my family back? So when he asked that question, I was like, maybe he did cheat on Kara. Maybe he did do something as egregious as that. Because, y'all, when you think about it, when they talk about that one incident where she was on the phone and she was laughing and he asked her, who are you talking to? And she said, none of your business. Carol would not have said that completely out of the blue. I feel like there was already tension between them. Like maybe he was caught cheating or caught doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing. So that when he was like, who are you talking to on the phone? Or who are you laughing with? And she, comes back with none of your business. It seems like they were already in the middle of something. There was already tension there. There was already some discord there. So I don't understand. So like none of this is making any sense. I don't know. Maybe somebody out there can enlighten me. Maybe something's been exposed on these blogs because I'm so lost in the sauce with Kara and Guillermo. So he wants to know how he can get his family back, as if he's the one that did something to lose his family. But I don't know. And the mom says take her out on a date. She's not going to be expecting it. It's sweet. It's romantic. Guillermo tells us that Kara has broken his trust. So when he said that, I'm thinking, okay, maybe Kara was cheating on him because he says that Kara broke his trust. There's some type of infidelity here, and I don't know who committed it and when. So there seems like there's some type of infidelity here. I just can't figure out who. I've been hearing a lot that it was Kara that cheated on Guillermo. Um, I don't know. Then why would she have to throw him out? Wouldn't she have left or wouldn't he have thrown her out? Like, I don't know. I'm very confused. Darcey and Georgie. So finally, Georgie and Darcey are meeting his parents. Well, Darcey's going to be meeting his parents. Georgie is reuniting with his parents after 13 long years. And I'm like, Georgie, don't do this ever again. Don't stay away from your family for over a decade ever again. You need to do more frequent visits with your family because that's just ridiculous. So they're reuniting with the family. They meet Darcey. They go inside their home, they give her a tour of the house, and then all of a sudden, luggage became the topic of discussion. His family or his parents asked, well, how much luggage did y'all bring? And Georgie says, maybe about seven. No, I think Darcey said like 7 or 8 suitcases. 5 of them alone belong to Darcey. And I'm like, Darcey, what the hell? What? Okay. So then they talk about how she is not properly dressed for the season because they asked the parents, what is your first impression of Darcey? And they said that she's not properly dressed. I felt like that answer was, we don't really want to tell you our true first impression of Darcey. So we're just going to talk about the fact that she's lacking a coat or she's lacking proper winter gear. We're going to stick to something very superficial. Y'all don't really want to know what we think of Darcey. So let's just talk about how she doesn't have, enough layers. So they're sitting around the living room and they're going through old photographs of Georgie. And there's a picture of Georgie with a woman in a little black dress, a young Georgie, like a 16, 15-year-old Georgie, maybe younger, with this woman. And she's got on this little black dress with the spaghetti straps. And he has his hand around her waist, like this is his date or something. And Darcey says about the woman, she says, oh, she's so pretty, thinking that maybe it was a relative or maybe his mom when she was younger. And they said, that's Georgie's teacher. And I'm like, where were they going? Where's this teacher going with this student in this little black dress and this hand on her waist? What the hell's going on that night? So Darcey says, y'all have a thing for older women. Definitely. So then the mom very sternly looks at Darcey and very sternly she says, Darcey, why are your legs bare? And I don't know what was going on here. I didn't see bare legs. Maybe I wasn't looking at the right moment. I didn't see her legs being bare. When they say bare, I'm thinking where you could see her skin, right? Like there's nothing covering her legs at all. I don't know what was going on. And she said something about how her coat, the button popped off. It was some type of wardrobe malfunction, and so she couldn't close her coat. I didn't understand what was going on there. So maybe it was I didn't understand. So the mom offers to fix her button or whatever. Darcey tells us that she felt their disapproval. We felt it too, girl. We felt it too because they were looking at her like this is something that they've never seen before in their life. They definitely had a look on their face, kind of like this is interesting. We're going to have a private conversation with our son at some point during this visit. Then all of a sudden we see Georgie's dad and Georgie. They are like making wine or something out in the barn. And Georgie's dad asks Georgie, how old is Darcey? And the dad is like, the dad answers his own question. He's guessing. He's like, what is she like, 45, 50? And Georgie says, well, she's definitely menopausal. She's definitely menopausal because she's going through the hormone changes and the temperament and the hot flashes. And then we see Darcey and Georgie's mom together because the mom is sewing the button on her coat. And Darcey tells his mom that Georgie really doesn't. No, first he asks, am I the first American girl? How do you feel about Georgie dating an American girl? And I was like, where's the American girl? Which American girl are you talking about? I see a 50-something-year-old woman here. Where's the American? Anyways, so then the mom says, we really didn't care if he was dating an American. That really didn't bother us. And then Darcey says that Georgie does not really open up to her enough. And the mom says, yes, I've heard of all of your problems, all of your issues, because my son has confided in me. And the mom says that she's going to encourage her son to open up more to Darcey. Dinner time. Everyone's sitting around the dinner table. And the mom says that they need to improve their communication. And Georgie was not happy about this because Georgie just wants to have a good time with his family. Okay. It's been a long time since he's seen his parents. He just wants to keep it happy, keep it light, enjoy his family, love on his family. He doesn't want to talk about marital issues. So Georgie tells us that first she's dressed inappropriately. Then she starts to burden my mom with all of our issues. And I just want to have a peaceful, quiet, happy meal with my parents. So now dinner's been ruined because now it's turned into a therapy session. And Darcey starts to cry. Like, girl, what are you crying about? What are you crying for? What is going on? Like, Darcey, get it together, sweetheart. You are a grown woman. Please get it together. And she starts crying, and the mom tries to make her feel better. Georgie's like, what's wrong with you? No one's blaming you for anything. I'm telling my parents that I know that I have my own issues and I'm trying to be more accountable myself. I'm contributing to our marital problems. So I'm trying to take responsibility. So, like, what is your problem? Why are you crying? And the mom was like, Georgie, no, 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 calm down. Use your gentle voice, use your quiet voice. Um, the mom tries, like I said, the mom is trying to console Darcey, and she tells Darcey that, look, you are the first girlfriend that Georgie has ever brought to us. So that should show you how much you mean to him and how much he loves you. But that's not enough for Darcey. Get it together, girl. You're gonna end up losing this man because you're doing a little bit too much. Get it together. Moving on to Brandon and Julia. So we're at the scene where Julia, Brandon, and Julia's parents have arrived at Brandon and Julia's home, and they're tired and they've been traveling and they just want to come home and relax. But instead, Brandon's parents had decorated the whole house. They kind of like broke in, or they have a key. They came in unbeknownst to Julie and Brandon, decorated the whole house, and now they're ready to party all night long. So this is like a surprise welcome to America party for Julia's parents. Julia is pissed. She is pissed off. And she's like, I've already talked to you people about boundaries. I've already explained to you, I don't want you popping up at my house whenever y'all want without me knowing, without my permission. I'm sick and tired of this. Brandon's mom is like, well, we just wanted to do something nice for your parents. And the dad co-signs to this. Brandon's dad co-signs this. Yeah, we just really wanted to do something nice for your parents. We wanted to meet them. Brandon's mom says that she didn't think Julia would be upset. Have you met your daughter-in-law? Anybody who's seen 5 minutes of this show would know there's no way Julia would have been happy about this. There's just no way. As much as she's talked about how she doesn't like the fact that y'all have a key to her home, y'all pop in whenever y'all want to, y'all treat her home like it's your home, y'all thought she was going to be okay with this. So the mom was like, "Well, the mom is extremely, extremely passive aggressive, and it's like disturbing how passive aggressive she is, and how her husband co-signs to this, and even Brandon co-signs to this because while they were like treating Julia like she's being a brat for not being happy, but after this long trip and her wanting to spend alone time with her parents, and they're making her feel like she's a brat, they're gaslighting her." Brandon sides with his parents. It's like, yeah, Julia, it seems like you're not really appreciative. What they should have done, first of all, if they wanted to have a surprise party or any kind of whatever, they should have asked. They should have asked Brandon and Julia, hey, when y'all come back, can we have a little get together with food and drinks, to welcome your parents to America? That's what they should have done. At the very, very least, what they could have done also was if Julia would have said, no, I don't want to party, but you still feel this need to invade their home and to go against their wishes, you still feel this urge to do this, you don't want to listen to Julia, then have the food ready, come in, decorate, have the food ready, drinks ready, and then leave, and then wait for Julia and Brandon to let y'all know or to invite you over to finally meet her parents. But all of this was too much. In my opinion, it was too much because of the fact that they've had issues before, because of the fact that Julia has complained to them before that all she wants is for them to ask. She didn't say, don't ever come to my house again. She didn't say, well, she probably did say, give me back the damn key, but Brandon wouldn't allow it. It's not like she's banning them from visiting her home. She just wants a heads up. So they should have just had the food prepared and left and waited to be invited. So the parents are like, you know what? We've had enough of this. We always try and try and try, and you never appreciate anything that we do. So we've had enough of this. So the parents leave, and Brandon leaves with them. And Julia goes chasing her husband out the door, like, Brandon, you better not leave, because if you leave, you're not going to be able to come back. I'm not going to let you come back. And he drives off with his parents. Well, that's as far as we know. That's what it looked like in that scene. Who knows what actually really happened? That scene alone, Brandon's mom or his dad should have told Brandon, no, you're not coming with us. You're a grown man with a damn wife and a house. You're not coming with us. Stop acting like a damn baby. Let go of the damn apron strings, Brandon. Julia even called him a mama's boy. Let go of the apron strings. You have a wife. Yes, you're going to have problems and issues and arguments. You need to stay there and deal with them with your wife, not running off after your mommy and daddy. So they can give you a juice box and tuck you into bed and rub on your head and say, oh, Julia's so mean. She's so mean. Moving on to Andre and Elizabeth. So Elizabeth has already been home a week because she left Andre in Moldova. But today's the day that Andre is finally arriving back home. He brings her flowers to try to butter her up. She takes the flowers and she's like, whatever. What about the money? Let's talk about the damn money. When are we going to get our money back? Andre's like, oh, okay, I'm working on it. Don't worry. This is a part of business. It's part of wheeling and dealing in business. You lose some, you gain. She's like, bump all that. I don't give a damn about none of that. Where's the 70K? When am I going to see that 70K in my bank account again? Andre says he's hired an attorney. Good luck on that. But the attorney wants money. So he says he still wants to move to Moldova. Elizabeth is like, you got to be out of your mind. There's no way in hell we're moving to Moldova after what just happened. Nope, not going to happen. We're not going to sell our home. We're not leaving Florida. We're not moving to Moldova. Not only does she not want to move to Moldova, she also demands and says to him, you will also include me in your business dealings. This is the last time that you're going to leave me out in the dark and me not knowing what the hell's going on with my money. You will be including me in your business dealings every single step of the way. I want to see everything. I want to talk to everybody. I'm going to be so deeply involved in this business, in whatever business transactions you're going to be doing in the future. Good luck with that, Elizabeth. Andre apologizes, and because he apologized, Elizabeth tells us that, okay, I'm going to go ahead and give him another chance and we're going to move forward. She says, because Andre never apologizes for anything. The fact that he apologized, I guess it's enough for me to try to put this behind us and allow us to move forward. Tiger Lily and Adnan. Y'all, I missed the first 15 minutes of the show, so I don't know exactly what went on, but I kind of have an idea that Adnan was trying to bully Tiger Lily into converting before the birth of their child. And I know he was saying some really reckless things. I can only imagine. All I know is from the previews that they showed us where he told her, I'm the man in this. You need to listen to me or something to that effect. But you know what? Tiger Lily likes that. So I'm not going to dwell too much on that or go too hard on Adnan. Tiger Lily likes this. She likes these type of men. Don't let her fool you, y'all. Don't let her fool you. She knows that it's probably unpopular opinion for women to gravitate towards men like this, and so she's going to put up this front like she's going to be talking back to him and standing her ground and telling him, you can't tell me what to do. She likes this. Tiger Lily likes this. She enjoys it. She likes men who tell her what to do, how to do it, when, where, and why, and men who are just controlling and bossy. This is what she likes. So when I saw it, they were cuddling together. And I guess he was being apologetic after talking to her crazy. But he was still saying that the demon in her was preventing her from converting. It's time for her to have the baby the next day. They're on their way to the hospital. While they're driving there, he they're talking about, the safety of the operation. Hopefully everything goes well. It's a safe delivery. And Adnan wants her to repeat a prayer in Arabic, an Islamic prayer in Arabic. And she asked him, are you trying to manipulate me? Because in order to convert to Islam, you have to say certain things. You have to say, four prayers in Arabic. And so he's telling her to say this prayer. And she's like, are you like trying to convert me by making me say the prayers that need to be said in order to be converted? And he was like, no, it's just a prayer for the safety of our baby. And she did it. Of course she did. Of course she did. Y'all, I feel a little bit discombobulated with this review because I missed 15 minutes of it. So I don't know what went on the first 15 minutes. And honestly, when I self-reflect, I guess I really don't care. It is what it is. I made it do what it do. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.